We are live. Welcome to Fun in the Kuntry Basement. Today we've got Glenn and Xander from Crawfordville, and we have a special guest today. We have my favorite Canardi. My favorite Canardi in the house, James from Kuntry Klub. So welcome everybody to Fun in the Kuntry Basement, and we're gonna start with Chris since he's on my left. And then hopefully Glenn will show back up in his camera and we can use him. But Chris, you're on, buddy.
I am on. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Sunday stream. This has been going pretty well. Welcome to our guest, James. I am Chris from Chris's Basement. I'll help you with your 3D printing problems. And I'll let James go next.
All right, James, you're up, buddy.
Hey everybody, I'm James from Print and Play. This is, I'm not going to say last minute, but Walter contacted me a couple hours ago, and I didn't get anything ready, so I'll be answering questions too, and then Chris will be correcting what I say.
And Glenn.
Hey everybody, I'm Glenn.
I'm Xander.
Together we are Fun King 3D, and I didn't really have a project together either, so we just kind of winged it at the last minute. So really, we're just going to ask James and Chris questions.
Well, I do have stuff printing, and I had something planned, but that's not going to happen today because I actually have to redesign some of the parts for my Mark 2.5 upgrade to fit the frame. Either that or I have to drill and tap holes on the frame for the Rambo box to go on. So I'm torn right now what I'm going to do with that. But I am going to clean up. I'm going to move around. I printed some nice little extensions back here on my lag table, so that I can start stacking printers and get this room kind of sort of in a decent way. What are you doing today, Chris?
I've done a whole lot of upgrades to the Prusa clone, to my log printer. I haven't done a lot of upgrades yet, but I need another main board. So today my goal is to switch out the main board, get the firmware reflashed. Hopefully I don't mess anything up in that process. And then I'm going to start, I've had many questions on this, but then I'm going to start the final video piece for a linear advanced tutorial. But I have to get this upgrade done first. So that's what I'm going to do today.
Oh, so we get to watch. Are you going to film this while you're doing it?
No, I'm not. But I will get it set up and ready for filming today.
Okay. All right. I thought we might get to see the great Chris Riley actually videoing his tutorials and get some good lessons on how they work.
No, it's a disaster while I'm doing it. It's much better after I've already finished.
Well, it looks like we got a pretty full house in here. Looks like about 26 folks in the chat. Welcome everybody. I'm not going to go run down through the list like on my normal stream, but welcome. You know who you are. I see you up here. We got the chat up. So if you have any questions, and if you want to ask somebody specifically, then tag them in the chat. I'm sure everybody has it up. Chris will have his up. Fun King will have his up. I know James has got his up. And so tag them directly if you want to ask them a direct question. But if you have just general questions, then we'll try to keep up. Xander, what project are you working on in your book there, buddy?
I'm doing snap circuits. The project I'm doing right now, it's called Sucking Fan.
That's pretty cool.
Okay.
I need me one of those.
I've been trying to get him to do some snap circuit things for Xander's thing Thursday. We just haven't worked it out.
Yeah, when I was his age, I didn't have an electronics kit. They always bought me chemical kits. I think they were hoping I'd blow something up, or I don't know, take fingers off or something.
That's what those were for, was for blowing stuff up.
I know.
I just decided I'm going to take this time to try and get the FL Sun printer back up and running, because that's my second Tron X5S in terms of success.
Well, that's what these streams are perfect for, James. Is like you're sitting there and you're thinking, oh, I've been meaning to do this. And so then you just do it, because you know, like you're not being scrutinized. Not everybody's staring at you the whole time. So it lets you just kind of monkey around. I've decided I'm going to put auto bed leveling on my AM8. But I don't know how to do it. So I'm going to do it here. Then I'm going to take it all apart and do it in a video.
I have one of those that I have to do, but I need to reprint a part for one of those videos. I did and this, for those people watching, this is advanced sneak peek into what I'm going to do. I did put a filament sensor on my Hypercube Evo using one of the leftover optical sensors from the build, but I printed the bracket that holds it and encloses it in orange, so the light from outside kind of sneaks in, and I don't know if that's hurting it or not, but even on like non-translucent filament, sometimes it loses. I think that I need to readjust the way the path goes through the sensor, because it will, once it gets down in filament, it will pull it to the front and I'll lose filament sensor. So I have to turn it off, which kind of defeats the purpose.
Yeah, Walter, keep me updated on how that all works out, because somebody was asking me the other day. So we did that 3D lac enclosure, and I ended up putting like 4 rows of LEDs in it, so it's really bright. Yeah. But somebody was asking me the other day if that would affect the MK3 filament sensor, and I have an MK2 in there, so I can't answer that question. So I'm really curious to see what you figure out with that.
Well, the problem, Chris, though, is that it's a different filament sensor. The ones I'm using is this.
Oh.
This right here. And what happens is the filament gets out to the front, like the outside of this, and it loses its, I don't know, I guess it loses connectivity, because looking in here, the little LED and receiver are only, 2 millimeters tall in a 4 or 5 millimeter tall structure.
Yeah.
So it needs to be guided right at the back. Now, I will tell you, with the 2.5 upgrade, they have changed the way that the block is built. They have different parts to print out. And yeah, I think this one's going to do better on the filament sensor.
Okay. Well, that's good to know anyway. The little end stop, that's just a regular IR sensor, right?
Yeah. It's just an IR sensor. So I don't know that putting it in black is going to make a difference.
Yeah.
I think it totally has to do with the filament moving to the outside and getting out of the path of the IR.
Gotcha.
So, Fun King, how's the Trunk CX1 going? Trolling for dollars, ass.
Oh, it's over there on the floor.
Ah.
It was, I'd actually considered, like, I said to Xander, I said, well, we can have a choice. We can put the X1 back up here and find the files to print to fix that wobbly X-axis, or we can put a auto bed leveling sensor on the AM8. And he said, well, can I just do snap circuits?
Fernando Pena says, hey y'all, what's up, Walter, Chris, Xander, and the bald guy?
And the bald guy.
Just playing, Glenn.
Yeah, I don't know who that Glenn guy is. That Glenn only has one N in it.
And Brian Vine said Chris was going to video that and post it on Twitter.
That's right. For you all to see it.
Dude, I seriously need to print one of those pyramids like that. I've never printed one.
Those things are cool. I do my fair share of looking around on Thingiverse at different things, but Thomas, that Arduino Makes, was doing those 1 week for his Think Thursday or something. And so I printed one. Those you can do in completely vase mode, and they're really neat to watch it build because it does it so fast. It's a really cool print.
Oh, we have
What's that?
said we have made a Icelandic guy mad because we're streaming at the same time as him. Well, we've also got 3D Maker Noob as well streaming right now too. So.
Oh, Joe is still streaming?
Yeah, he was when I got on. Now he may not still be. I'm not sure. I'm not sure at all.
Saw there was a few people that were starting to get their TiVo Flash printers.
Yeah, you know, and I actually I did email back to Creality and said, hey, you know, y'all said you were sending me printers. Where are they at?
Yeah, what'd they tell you? Because I just keep getting a runaround.
I have gotten no response yet.
The only response I got after like 10 tries was that there's a process inside of Creality.
Yeah. And Martin said, hi, he's just joking. His stream wasn't planned. It was impromptu stuff. And Matt from How I Do It said he's got the stream going in 3 different rooms so he can heckle us from 3 different places.
Awesome.
I only hope one is the bathroom.
All right, I've got to do this because I know this is on my stream. Let me switch mics here and go to the snowball. And if you're wearing headphones,
Oh my God, here we go.
I would like to tell you to mute your mic right now.
I'm gonna mute my input source so it doesn't flash back. There you go.
All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Fernando Pena. I just had to do it. Sorry.
It just makes me feel really special.
I was trying to get around it, but I just couldn't. Not only that, my granddaughter loves it. She watches the streams when I stream, and she's like, hey, and she asked my daughter, hey, when's he going to say hey to Nano Pena? Is he going to say hey to Nano Pena? So
This just makes us all feel really good inside.
you know what? I need to come up with one for telling hello to Xander.
That sounds like a good idea.
I'm going to get in touch with your mother and find out your entire full name.
Okay, no.
Oh, it's very difficult. His middle name's Glenn.
Oh,
I wasn't going to stick him with the first name of Glenn, but
so yeah, whenever I get the chance, Xander, it's just I'm gonna have to figure out some way to say hello to Alexander Glenn Shelton.
oh, don't call him Alexander. He'll punch you in the gut for that.
Oh no, I'm doing full name since he just called me out on the stream. Don't like Alexander, huh?
Nope.
Well, I could call you Maria.
That's even worse.
I think that was the point.
Oh.
Yeah, that was the point. That was actually the point for sure. You know, I got an uncle. I think that I don't think he called my wife by her correct name for the first 10 years we were married. And then one day he called her by her real name and she's like, are you actually talking to me? Because he'd call her like Gertrude and Esmeralda and just whatever came out of his mouth at the time.
The cap
No.
on my Magic Goo just came off and poured Magic Goo all over the printer.
Oh, nice.
The cat poured Magic Goo on the printer?
No, I said the cap came off my Magic Goo and it just dumped all over the printer.
Oh, well, I hear you'll get 20 prints out of that.
Trolling for dollars. I can't do that because Johnny Cash said not to. So I can't do that. Glenn, you need to get some bifocals because I see you taking them off your head to see the screen and putting them back on to see up close. And
Yeah, I only need them for up close.
hey, Ken's in the house. Now's a good time to talk to everybody about the sheets that Ken did. Ken Cobb. Y'all see this? Chris, I don't know if you got to see this before, but this is a
You get it the other day. How's it going?
it actually printed really well. All these parts that are back here on this box, I don't know if they can see it or not, but all the parts back here on this box were printed on Ken's PEI powder coated sheet, and they stuck really well. This thing, I mean, the powder coating is even. It looks a little different than, it's not as thick, I don't think, as the Prusa sheets, well, I know the sheet's not, but the coating itself, I don't think is quite as thick. But yeah, I mean, it seems to be holding up really well. I really want to get a piece of PEI, smooth PEI, and put on the backside. Ken was worried about the magnets not being strong enough to hold, but I'm pretty sure you can attest, Chris, that they will definitely hold down through the PEI sheet.
Yeah, if you're using like one of those, they're like 5 mil sheets or whatever, it'll hold just fine.
Yeah, no, this is one of the thin sheets of PEI.
Yeah,
but this sheet's not quite as thick as the Prusa sheets, but when it's stuck down, it is flat.
Cool.
Oh, okay. Ken said it's single side coated to let people put Garolite and other sheets on the back. But the neodymium magnets they're killer in the Mark III.
Yes, they are. Those things snap pretty tight.
Meyer Makes is just stopping by. Well, hey, Meyer Makes, how are you? No, Mapro 6, I actually talked about it. I'm still printing the parts for the 2.5 upgrade, the Rambo box. And I'm thinking that I'm just going to drill and tap the aluminum frame because I don't have a Mark II. I am going to put it on my Haribo, Zarbo, whatever you want to call it. The extrusion framed Mark II that I have is what we're going to put it on. You okay there, Glenn?
It's all good.
All right. Matt said he's heckling from Clint. The problem is I'm not monetized, so Stream Tips does not show up. If you want to send me if you want to like leave a tip or something, it has to be through Streamlabs or PayPal.me or something of that nature, Clint. Sorry, buddy. I don't have enough subscribers yet. I'm getting there. You know, I only got 69 more to go, I think. Yeah, 369 is what I got to get. So I'm getting there. All right, everybody watch what Chris is doing because I'm going to lock it on him for a minute.
You're more than welcome to watch me screw up another board install.
I'll get Glenn and Xander here in just a minute. But everybody likes log printers.
Oh yeah, yeah. You know, I was super excited when I built this one. You know, Tom did the whole series of live streams building the dolly build and everything. And I was so excited to watch him build that, but he's really not done much to it after that. I really thought we were going to go full bore, you know, MK2, but he hasn't done a lot of videos after the fact. He like added some LEDs one time and then he did something else, but I was really kind of disappointed that we didn't see a lot more action on that.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, well.
Well, thank you. Clint said he just donated $10 by Streamlabs. I guess I could go to my OBS camera. The problem is that the OBS camera, hold on just a second. Let me do this. OBS camera, hit save, and then open OBS and see if it can handle it. All right, I'm going to take it off of Chris for a minute. There we go. I guess you can see me now.
I only see a gray screen.
Yeah.
You gotta tell Hangouts that you're using the OBS camera.
Yeah, I did that. I see it on my screen, so I don't know. I see mine fine.
Yeah, you're showing up on the stream just as your wallpaper, your avatar.
Chris, how about yours?
Oh, there you are. There you popped in.
Yep,
okay, cool. Well, now they can see it. All right, Ken, we'll do. Yeah, now I'm up. I'm up now. All right, guys. Sorry it took that long, but should be good now. All right, cool. Yeah, now it'll show up if you do the Streamlabs or whatever. There's a subscriber pop up that pops up. So Had a couple people subscribe today too, which is awesome.
Excellent.
And I can't watch it on YouTube, but this says the peak concurrent viewer so far today, gentlemen, has been 48, which is, I don't know if it's a new record. I think we had the most on Chris's, the first one.
48's pretty good.
But I think we hit 51 or so on yours the first time.
Awesome.
All right.
We got a you do it and a how I do it. Now we know how to do everything. And then we have to go do it.
I'm still here. I'm just failing repeatedly.
Right. Oh.
Am I building a CR1? Kinda. Only I don't use community members as testers. I do all that myself. Burn.
Oh. Thanks, Clint. Clint, I appreciate that again. All right. All right, cool. And if you hadn't noticed yet, Chris, I made sure that I wore your shirt, even though you didn't.
I did notice that, and I appreciate that. I didn't want to say that that was the best shirt out there because Fun King does have his shirt on, and it's pretty sweet. So.
Yeah, it is. It is. And I just got told that my daughter's GoFundMe link was not in the description, but I just put it in there. So, guys, my daughter wants to go in January to Ireland to study abroad with the University of Florida, and she has a GoFundMe to help her pay for the extra that she can't get in student loans and stuff like that. So, if you want to, the link's down there. So, thanks, Bo. Thanks, Trolling for Dollars, for letting me know it wasn't there. It is now. Right. Sorry. Okay, I hope my stream is the right way around for everybody else because it's backwards for me.
Oh, you did get the MK3 clone up. Well, then I got to go check that out. I am admittedly a little bit behind on my YouTube watching. I have caught a few here and there. I put a comment on your video, Glenn, but I watched the Maker Box. I think I watched that 3 times, the magic part of the show. It was great.
It took me a lot longer to edit that than it should have. I'm sure. I have to learn After Effects.
Well, it was still really good. It was worth it.
Well, then you get those people that are like, hurry up, because somebody else wants to build one of those.
Yeah.
Sorry, my butt spent so much time on the stream there so far.
It's okay, man. It's just a hangout.
Okay, so this time, so some of you guys probably have been over this with me a couple of times, and I just won't give up on ramps boards because they're just so cheap. But this time, I actually found this board that calls itself a Ramps 1.6. It's the one that
I told you about that like 2 months ago.
What?
It's got the heat sink and everything. I linked it. Yeah, it's got the heat sinks against the across the regulators and all that jazz.
Yeah, you have one of these?
I ordered one. It hasn't shown up yet because I ordered it from AliExpress. So
yeah, so they're the MOSFETs are a little higher grade, and they're the type that lay down instead of the blade type that you're supposed to screw to a heatsink. But they give you this huge bar heatsink to go over them, and the terminals. I wouldn't say they were better terminals, but they're different terminals. So we're gonna try this one this time and see how long it takes to burn it up.
John said he's got to go get his wife from the beach, so he's going to be back. Or he won't be back. He's leaving the stream up. Later, John. Be careful, buddy.
See you, John.
Bye, John.
Bye.
So you're going to put a ramps 1.6 on there.
Yep.
And what was the price of that, Chris? I missed it.
I want to say this ramp shield was $14.
But you still have to put it on a mega, right? Or
Right. You still have to have a mega for it.
See, ramps let me down. I bought one ramps, and it was crap from the get-go.
Yeah. I've had some that lasted for 6 months. I've had some that lasted for 3 days. So, but you know, I was getting just the regular ramp shield, like the one I just took off of here. I was getting those for like $3. So I'd order 5 at a time from China and just hope for the best.
Right.
Because I was using them on like half a dozen different things for testing and whatever. Most of the time, though, it's always the same issue. You always burn up the MOSFET that supports the heat bed. That's always the first thing to go. But usually everything else is just fine. So if you're using it for something else, like non-3D printer related or whatever, I pull parts off a lot of them. They're just really cheap little electronics boards for me. I can harvest stuff from them.
The ramps was the first thing to mess up in my 3D printed printer. That was what started smoking when we were at Earth.
Yeah, I've had a few smoking episodes on ramps before. Those are always fun.
The connectors couldn't handle the power draw from the heated bed, so I ended up basically just bypassing the connector, soldering directly to the terminals on the back, and everything was running cool. So, you know.
Clint asked, has anybody tested a SmoothieWare board? And I'm like, yeah, I've got one on the Little Monster, and I can't wait to replace it.
Yeah, I haven't had an actual SmoothieWare board. I have some clones that are 32-bit that try to be SmoothieWare boards, and they never work out. So their SmoothieWare is kind of at the end of its life, unfortunately. I think they're kind of done.
Yeah, you know, I kept looking, hoping that that they would continue and move on, but it doesn't look like it. I mean, it just really doesn't look like they're going to.
Yeah, it looks to be a pretty much a dead project.
Yeah, I don't know. Clint, it was a clone, I guess, that comes on the TiVo. It looks like if you buy the King Print SmoothieWare or MKS 1.4, whatever it is, off of Amazon, it's the same board.
What do they get for one of those clone boards, you recall?
About $54.
Ooh.
I think you can find them for, I might have got that one for 45. I may have been dyslexic on those numbers. Might have been 45. But it was bad out of the box. I mean, it wouldn't even, it took the smoothie, it took the firmware and everything, the screen and all came on, but it would only move 2 of the 3 motors. I mean, it was the same firmware I was putting on the one here.
Well, that is no good.
Hey, look, Daryl's here. Daryl Maloney's in the chat, everybody. The Broken Nerd.
All right.
We're moving up in the world.
How's it going, Daryl? How's your dinner?
And Chris, I need to tell you, since you're not on Twitter, you miss some of the best prints in the history of printing.
I'll bet I do.
from Filament Frenzy's pictures like every day. Now I don't know if Glenn and James agree with me, but Tom puts out some of the best looking prints I've ever seen in my life.
I tend to disagree with Walter on principle and all things, but no, he's right.
See, if I looked at those prints all the time, I'd be down here trying to copy it. Like, oh man, I got to get better at this.
Dude, the thing is, he'll share his profiles with you. And I've got his MK3 profile for Simplified 3D. My prints still don't look like his. I don't. Well, and I think he prints a lot slower than I am. I'm impatient, so.
Yeah, I hear that.
I can't wait to run Glenn's FK1 up to about 300 millimeters a second.
As a large format printer, I don't think that would be advised.
It's good looking though, man. That video you put out was awesome, dude. I was joking to hurry up, but
10 hours to render that.
Yeah, dude, that's friggin' awesome printer. And I was reading through the comments. About the 3 wheels and all that stuff, and I'm like, dude,
I don't ever like, I don't ever want to discourage anybody from giving me their ideas, because I mean that's how I've made the changes that I have. But yeah. I also want everybody to know that if I don't take your idea, don't take it offensively, because there's a reason that printer is the way it is.
Right.
I mean, I intentionally did not research other printers because I don't want it to be any other printer. I want it to be my printer, even if it fails.
Right. No, and that's what I mean. I mean, it's like, dude, go make your own printer. And
no, I don't know if I'd go that far. I mean, no different than, Sanjay giving me his input. I mean, input sometimes is important, but I did. I mean, that one about the 3 wheels, I actually did originally have the truck. It's around here somewhere, and I could grab the carriage and twist it like this because it only had 3 wheels on it. So that's why I went to a 4-wheel carriage. The reason people do 3-wheel carriages is those stupid wheels are expensive. So, but I don't know, I mean, if there's a reason behind it and it doesn't work, it's just a matter of printing out a new carriage.
Glenn only takes my ideas because we have the same brain.
Dan usually just takes my ideas.
We have the same ideas at the same time. Weird.
It's really scary how often that happens.
It's like right now I know that he's thinking about shaving Xander's head because I'm also thinking about shaving Xander's head.
But only partially like Glenn's.
Yeah. So I'm Glenn and I'm Glenn.
Yeah.
I've
Insulting.
I've actually joked around and said I wanted to do that to him, but he wouldn't do it. All right, so I have a question for you guys.
No, you don't.
And we'll see if you're smart enough to answer it. No, seriously. So, like through this whole design of the FK1, some things have come up, and I slated to go with a 24-volt. Your cat's being very loving. I slated to go with a 24-volt power supply because that, makes the most sense to me until I started thinking about the fact that I'm doing a 120-volt bed. Is there any reason to have to go to a 24-volt power supply if I'm only heating the extreme? I mean, I realize that the nozzle would heat faster with a 24-volt power supply, but is it worth the extra cost and having to fight the fans?
Well, it depends on what board you're getting to, Glenn.
Well, either board that I'm looking at will run 12 or 24 volt.
Okay, but the Duet I know will run 12-volt fans off of it with 24 volts in, so you wouldn't have to fight the fans as hard.
All right, but if I end up going with the Einstein, I would have to do a 5-volt fan or a 24 volt fan, but it would likely be a 5 volt fan.
Right.
So would I not then be better off just doing a 12 volt power supply, being I'm not heating the bed?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And the 24 volts on the Duet helps out with the power loss and recovery. But
I mean, how like what difference? I don't know. I mean, what difference does that make to the power loss and recovery?
because it gives you enough to do like the Prusa to raise your nozzle.
So are they implying that your capacitors would be larger because it's a 24 volt supply? Is that what they're trying to say?
That's what they say on the wiki.
Okay.
I'm using a 12 volt jacked up to 14.7 volts right now. So, and mine actually does raise it up like 0.5 millimeter off the print. So it doesn't just sit there and cook the print.
Because I mean, I would be lying if I said I didn't really care about the power recovery. Because I mean, I do. I run all of my printers on UPSs, so I generally don't have that problem. But
right.
I mean, I'd hate to get into like 4 days into a print and have that thing fail.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, with the size of that machine, I would be super worried about it. Well, I have really large machines, and I do get really worried about it.
Yeah,
Tell them about the hand printer. How'd that feel?
But yeah, it's awful.
Chris had over 17 heart attacks while that was printing. He finished it because he believes in YouTube. Sorry, this is my life now. I can't get rid of her. She just comes back and claws me. You can't see it, but right now the paw that's on my arm is actually like repeatedly digging her claws into my arm.
Well, at least she's a loving cat and not a mean cat.
Depends on who she's cuddling with. She hates everybody but me. So she has terrible taste. Trying to decide what I want to print on the FL Sun to see if it's going to explode.
I don't know if I got the little connectors right, but doing it to my best of my ability.
So Glenn, really, I don't know what to tell you on that.
Yeah, I mean, just the thought had come to me a couple of days ago. You know, I've been eyeballing a 24 volt. I want to say it's like an 18 amp Meanwhile power supply, but the 24 volt have less of a selection. They cost more. You know, it's like I just don't know. Of course, I'm not watching the chat. Everybody's probably over here screaming at me.
Nah, they were just talking about the power difference, but
Mike, never let the machines win, said 42 or no. I don't know if that's supposed to be 24 or if I have to now jump to 42 volt. No, I'm just kidding. If you're doing an AC bed, there's no reason to use 24 volt unless you already have all 24 volt hardware. No, the only thing that I do have a 24 volt. When I got the hot end from E3D, I did ask them for the 24 volt kit, but that's just a matter of now swapping out the heater cartridge. That's not really a big deal.
Oh, I have a text message. Hold on a second.
The 24 volt will actually make it safer, lower amps needed, which is true, but we're not talking about that much, and we're talking about 12 volts. I mean,
yeah, I mean your draw will be so low. I mean, you're not going to burn up terminals or anything like that.
no, I'm more afraid of the bed shorting out.
Yeah,
you know?
right. Yeah, that could be a serious problem.
By the way, I am good with AC electricity, so that's no worries. I wired my whole house and it hasn't burned down yet.
Yeah, I've done a lot of AC wiring, and I still get worried when I do anything. So
I don't get worried. I figure I've had a good run. What's the worst that could happen?
Hey, Glenn Scott, Hack Monkey asked, what surface you planning on to use?
The bed?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably the number one question that I get.
These are all blue painter's tape that he picked up.
Oh, you're fine.
Well, was he talking about like Oh, I see what he's saying. Yeah, as far as it's probably, I don't really know at this moment. I was hoping that, and I do know of one place that I can get a PEI sheet big enough. It's just unfortunately going to be the glossy PEI, and I don't like glossy PEI, but it will most likely be a PEI sheet because it's what I have the most luck with.
Well, his reason was because power off recovery is only useful as long as the part stays stuck down.
Right. It has to recover fairly quickly. I fully know that, but again, I mean, my intentions are to run it through a UPS, like everything here.
Hey, look, Xander's got a toy. Why can't I have a toy?
You can. You just can't buy it at Toys R Us.
Oh, yeah.
Hayes landed in Australia.
Sweet.
So she's got one more 3-hour flight, and then she's set for the next 2.5, 3 months.
So we know what we're going to be seeing. We're going to be seeing a lot of James doing a lot of designing.
I know.
That's pretty cool things, man.
Say again, Chris?
I said I sat and watched him last night until I couldn't hold my eyes on him.
So,
The
like,
quality of prints that I got last night out of the new printer bot, where I'm gonna have to work on it a bit. But I went through Chris's tutorial and I got the print monitor thing running. Except for I'm running it off of a different board, so I had to rewrite or rejig some of the code to get it to work with the pins on this board. But
Ricky Tanner's leaving. Did I miss that part? Did anybody else announce that?
Yeah, no, he was going to work.
He said something. He said, all my favorite YouTube personalities on the screen. I didn't think about the fact that we could cause a like a vortex.
Right? A vortex in the YouTube community. My wife's been in here a couple times, and I need to get her in here so everybody can say hey to her. But that lady has put up with me for 23 years today, which is amazing.
Happy anniversary. This is a weird thing to do on your anniversary.
Yeah, I know, but, you know, she's the devil, so I try to stay away.
Yeah, it's your 23rd. You don't spend time together on your 23rd.
No, I know, right? We make it to 60, then I'll spend time with her.
I mean, what are you gonna do today that you haven't already done in the past 23 years?
That's a good question. And thanks everybody for telling us happy anniversary. She is watching the stream, by the way. She's been in here a couple times, telling me I missed some things, of course.
I like it that she keeps you on track, man. That's pretty good.
Dude, she sits in there on the couch on her phone with the stream up. I'm like, you know, you can watch that on 55-inch TV, right? She's like, but I don't want to use the internet. I said, you're using the same internet to put it on your phone as you do on the TV.
She was all over it at Earth, man. I was really impressed.
Oh yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Well, here is the first print on the new production Mark III spring steel sheets. This is the new one that came with the Mark 2.5 upgrade. And this sucker is still hot. My God, because I was printing with PETG and it was at 70 degrees. Son of a buck.
Who prints PETG that cool?
On a bed?
I printed a 90, brother. 90. Cook that.
And this, believe it or not, these were just the pre-sliced. I didn't do anything to these. These were the pre-sliced G-code. These are the R1. I want you to look at this though, Glenn. This is
on you. I like to make you question it.
Look at that.
That is pretty.
That is
Ain't that pretty?
pretty.
Yeah, I
That
love
texture is so cool. But I want to show you because it's this one. No, not that one.
Maybe that's what I got to figure out. Maybe I got to figure out how to put a steel spring sheet on my bed, on the FK1 bed, so I can have it powder coated.
Now let me show you the difference here though. This is off of Ken's spring steel sheet, and then this is off of the Prusa, and you can see that the granularity of the PEI in Ken's is a lot smaller than the granules of PEI on Prusas. So it's a lot smaller texture than what the Prusas is.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, they're not going to come out exactly the same.
No, I get that. I'm just saying it's great to have, because now I've got smooth, I've got the small one, and I've got the large one from Prusa. So it's just really cool. All right, so put all these parts in the box for the upgrade, because I ain't doing that today.
The Apple Sun, she lives. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. I can't tell. Over my shoulder here.
Yes, we can see that.
No, we see the cat butt.
You're very inconvenient.
No, I get so. What I gather, you guys know more than me, because I live in the prehistoric days without Twitter. But I guess we're supposed to get some sort of voucher for those powder coated beds once they're readily available.
Say that again, Chris. I'm sorry I missed it.
Are we supposed to? Prusa, I thought was supposed to issue us some sort of voucher when those beds are readily available.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they actually did that for a while, and then they just said, no, we're not going to do that. You can either wait for it or you can get the smooth one.
Gotcha.
I put this massive roll of PLA back on top of this thing now.
And Scott, no, I didn't use your case with the door, because I'm not. This was for the 2.5. So no, I wouldn't do that with the 2.5 upgrade.
Yeah, FL Sun is running. That's right.
If I was going to replace Mark III parts, I might do that because of the, putting the Pi Zero on there and running Octoprint directly on it. But I'm still on the fence about it. I've got all the parts right here in front of me, everything ready to sit down and do it. I'm just on the fence about it.
This print's inspired by Walter because it's printing in blue and it's eventually going to switch to orange.
Sweet.
That's just because the Bowden tube, which is like 50 miles long, had to run a blue in it, and I couldn't get it out. Figured I'd start with something light, so I put on a 19-hour print.
Oh, wow.
I love the way the lighting turned out on that, though.
Yeah,
the LED strips and the makes it look like an Apple store.
Looks awesome. Chris Scott said, yeah, they're shipping to people that opted to wait on their printers, and then vouchers to those that decided not to wait. Vouchers will go out when it's your turn to get one.
Excellent. So I think that, they've got them on the site. They just say not available or whatever, but I think they're only listed at like $25. Of course, we have to pay the extravagant shipping amount, but I would say that's pretty reasonable for a spring steel sheet.
I forgot how fast that thing is.
What's
How
that?
fast what is?
The Delta printer is. I've got it running at 80 millimeters a second right now, and with movement speeds 120, and I'm pretty sure I could probably go another 20 to 40 millimeters a second on the print speed. Yeah, I see my sticker on Chris's box.
Yeah. Yeah, this is where I collect all my stickers.
Yeah, I don't see mine on there, Chris.
Yeah, it's got to be there somewhere. No, yours is on something else.
Yeah, the toilet doesn't count.
Well, we all got to go sometime.
I was gonna say trash can. I wasn't gonna go as far as the toilet.
Oh, file 22 for me, was it, Glenn? I appreciate that.
Round file.
I found this when I was cleaning the other day. I forgot I bought it. It's a Bluetooth Super Nintendo controller. It looks pretty much. They had to change the design on them because it was too close to the actual original design. I don't know if you guys know this, but I love me some video games. That is an FL Sun QQ Cricket. I don't even know if they still sell it. It was an interesting one. It wasn't wired properly from the factory, and the power supply blew and melted the connectors on the board. So I rewired the entire thing, got it back up and running, added the lights to it because that's not something they included. Yeah.
Hey, James.
Yeah.
I wanted to show you. I got a couple of those myself.
Those are good controllers. The 8-bit Duo, 8-bit
Yeah.
Duo, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because for Christmas, I gave my wife a RetroPie.
Yep.
And it's slap full, so I bought these. And, you know, I've got a couple of the plug-in controllers as well, but these little Bluetooth ones, these things rock.
This is you can use this one plugged in as well. I imagine those ones too. And this is my favorite controller.
No, these well, yeah, I guess you could. Yeah, it is. It's got a USB
Yep.
mini USB.
Oh, yeah, same thing.
Yeah. So we haven't used these in a while, but they've got like the shoulder buttons, and it's got 1, 2, 4 buttons on top, and then, you know, all these others. It's just, there's a lot.
Martin, your landscape's going to be out in the next 2 weeks. I'm redoing my area. Like, it's disgusting down here because I haven't picked up anything from Murph because I'm planning to redo everything. I'm going to rotate this entire thing around like this, and then because there's a wall there and a wall here, and I can't get the camera back far enough to get a good view on the table. So I'm going to rotate everything around. I'm going to have shelving down the sides. There's already shelving up there that you can't see that was supposed to be for displaying stuff, but yeah. I already bought the additional shelving, all that jazz.
Hey, has anybody, and I would imagine, I don't know if any of y'all do lac tables or not, but I know Chris did. Has anybody done a spool holder that doesn't go through the table? I want one that like screws to the side of it.
I haven't seen one yet. I'm sure there's a million of them out there.
Because I am putting my Prusa underneath the Hypercube, and I don't really want to go, you know, through the bottom of the Hypercube, or there's not a lot of room around the Hypercube to put filament through.
Is DS9 your next giveaway? Is that why it's rotated like that, or are you just filling up a space? Looking at the top of your wall, Walter, behind you.
Oh, no. That was just filling a space. No, DS9, we randomly select. So the next giveaway at 1,000 is going to be a big ship, because I'm going to do those every 1,000, and I've only got about 5 of them. So, you know, once I get to 5,000, then it'll just go back to little ships again until I get 250,000 followers.
Chris is answering questions because I'm not paying enough attention to chat. I'm going to grab something. I got something that relates to this.
Yeah,
okay.
Vaughn, that's the link to Print and Play. That's James' channel.
Oh, did I not put that in here?
I don't know if it was. I just thought I'd repaste it just in case.
It's probably not in the description. I'll put it in the description for sure after the fact. Sorry about that. And I haven't said that either. We've been going for almost an hour. If you're not subscribed to Chris's Basement, or Glenn and Xander from Fun King 3D, or James from Print and Play, then in the description is everybody's link except for James's, and his is right there in the chat, so you can get to that. And these guys put out some great content. And oh my God, James has a large ship.
And check this. Oh God, there's so much dust on it. Check out all the dust. Yeah, check this out.
No, saucer separation.
And then check it out. Watch, because they're magnetic. So as soon as it gets close,
Wow.
it makes sounds too, but the batteries are just about dead.
Now I do have to ask y'all, those that watch Star Trek, how cool was that on the Next Generation when they did that the first time?
You know it was supposed to happen in the original series too?
Yeah, but it
It's one of
didn't.
the books as well. And it kind of happened in the last movie, but not the way they wanted.
Right?
I want to get the sound going on this so I can get this channel or this video demonetized.
Yeah, because my channel's monetized, remember?
You got to do something to get it monetized first.
There you go. Let's get it monetized first before we try to demonetize it.
I don't think I have any AAAs. That's what the stupid thing runs on. And by stupid, I mean awesome thing.
Yeah, I always hate it when I make that distinction mishap. All right, so I'm going to mute my mic for a bit, which I don't do very often, but I'm going to start moving these tables around. It's going to be loud.
Oh, you're a gentleman for doing that then.
I figure everybody else brings their cat on stream. I'd bring mine on stream too.
I don't have a cat because if I did, I would die.
Well, you can share my cat remotely. How's that?
Hey, that is much appreciated.
Chris and I were talking about doing a collab and him coming to Canada. Then he realized I have 2 cats and it would literally kill him. He also realized he doesn't like me that much, but that's beside the point.
Well, it's not just that, but you know, I'd have to go to Canada.
Good times, eh?
I'm sorry, I had to get on here. That was funny. I was laughing.
I can do better. Oh, what's that?
I want one of those magnetic music things that they use to make the music with.
So apparently the spool holder up the top isn't good enough to do this. Don't try it. It's coming out. Might be okay like that for a while. Famous last words.
Oh, we lost James. We lost Xander. I mean, they're just dropping like flies.
Xander had to go get some liquid refreshment.
I hear you. I don't blame him. All right.
I don't know if you guys, I don't know if anybody's here from that stream where I used it. I got this guy right here.
Oh, I remember that.
I was gonna say that never goes well.
I think the batteries are dead though, and it takes 17 years to charge them. By the time this thing's ready to fly again, Xander will be able to drive, and none of us will be safe.
17 years to charge.
Is that light years?
Ah!
I got to get you back once in a while.
I mean, you were due.
I'm long overdue.
There, take my USB cable. You'll get quite a charge. I'm wondering which sound effect's going to cause Walter to turn around. Not that one. I don't even know what that is. Okay, that's not.
Oh, okay.
Dry Bones, what is up? I don't know if I have seen you in these streams before, but welcome.
Dry Bones, we met at Earth. He's part of that crew that had that absolutely terrible 3D printer that was an abomination. And I think it was printing by the time I left.
Who was that?
Maybe we met and I don't remember.
Dry Bones. He was with Ryan, correct? With Geek Tech.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Dang, my CRS didn't kick in. That's crazy.
Well, you can help me with mine.
Yeah, maybe once I get this table on top of this other table.
Is that how you get baby tables?
That's how you get baby tables.
Well, who knew that spilling in half a container of magic glue onto the bed on this would cause the print to stick? Now the lights are stuck on this thing.
I'm going to have to move that. Dadgummit.
There we go.
All right, now to set the hypercube on here.
This is a dolly that I'm tinkering with. This is my version called Log.
Not Log.
You know, if you owned a boat, you could call it Captain's Log. That thing's
Good.
gonna fall off the point.
Good. It's big, it's heavy, it's wood.
Okay. I'm gonna do the responsible thing and run the filament halfway across the room.
That's right. Everyone wants a log. You're going to love it, Log.
I know that I haven't said this since our last Fun in the Country Basement, but I hate cable management.
All right, I'm going to turn the camera and see what you think. I know it's a mess over there. Check it out.
Nice.
And then over underneath the silver one here, I am going to put my other printed printer on the bottom and put the silver one on top. So
That looks pretty good. Where are you gonna put your next 5 printers?
in the living room. I just made room by taking these out of the living room.
That's where the CRX is going?
Yeah. Yeah. If I ever get it.
By the time you get it, they'll be on the 3rd version. It'll be the CR XXX. And
Well,
it'll be for adults only.
Maybe it won't be the version that Joel, kind of got upset with today.
I have a feeling it won't be that version. I'm pretty sure those were early adaptations.
Yeah. Jeffrey from the 3D Print channel is here. Hello, Jeffrey.
Hey, Jeffrey.
Sorry, I'm not paying attention to chat, guys. I'm kind of trying to get this ready to print because now I need some more extensions.
I'm kind of glad this stream came up because I was going to spend the afternoon cleaning. I don't really want to do it. I got to figure out how to come up with 2.5 months of excuses.
Carl, we're going to do this till 6. I guess we've settled pretty much on a 2-hour because 1 is too short and 3 is way too long. So figure 2 hours. That sound good to everybody else, I guess?
Yep.
And you know, if it's on my channel at 2 hours, we're gonna say bye.
32 hours.
Bye, bye, bye.
Okay.
So for everybody that wasn't watching my stream last night, which should be the majority since there's 52 of you in here right now, I've been working on cup holders for my pool. So my pool is one of these ones that you get at, like, here in Canada, it's Canadian Tire or whatever. It's a metal frame, and it's just basically like conduit all the way around. So these snap down onto the conduit, and then I've developed these little cup holders that sort of slide down. They're easy to take off to clean. That's my latest project.
Oh, I didn't know you had a pool. I guess we're coming to Canada.
There you go. You're always welcome.
Only if we fly.
Oh, you don't want to drive to Canada?
That's rude. All the times I've driven down to see just you guys, specifically. I mean, I've never been to your home, but
Did it just happened to be on the same weekend that there was some event like Earth or Murph going on?
oh, is that what was going on? I couldn't tell what that was supposed to be.
Well, you are more than welcome to come and hang with us in November for Orlando Maker Fair.
I may not be able to get into the country by then. I only wish I was kidding.
Well, if you'd stop doing all that illegal stuff.
Everyone's welcome. Yeah. You can all go to the address in my my channel description, which is my PO box. We'll have a party at the post office.
We can all go to your PO
Postal.
box.
I don't know if that means something different in the States.
Hey, Chris, where'd he go? Since you have a MK3, and I know that Glenn doesn't, but check this out, man. You really need to get you some of these.
Walter's a bit of a sheet disturber.
I am.
So how many do you have now total, Walter?
I have 4 sheets now total.
Nice.
I have the smooth PEI, which is, you know, what you have, I believe.
Yep.
The dual-sided. And then I have the pre-production that was handed out at Murph by Joseph Prusa. Then I have the release production version that they're shipping now. And then I have the one from Ken, the single-sided powder-coated PEI.
Excellent. That's awesome.
So, and once my paychecks start rolling in, this will definitely have some PEI, or maybe even I might try the Gecko Tech stuff because I haven't tried that anywhere else. What's y'all's experience with Gecko Tech? Anybody?
Works fine for me. I've been using it nonstop on my printed printer.
I have terrible experience with it, but it's not Gecko Tech's fault. It's actually Robo's fault.
Oh,
It's because of that crazy bed leveling on the R1, and it mashes the nozzle down. It uses switches on the X for bed leveling, so it's actually driving the nozzle into the build sheet. So eventually it burned through it. So now the offset, the Z offset, is wrong by the thickness of the Gecko Tech sheet, which means that when it prints the first layer embedded into the sheet. So, but that's nothing against Gecko Tech.
Scott asked me how did I swing a production sheet. Scott, because I bought the 2.5 upgrade quite a while back, but I opted to wait until they were printing the powder coated sheets. So when I got my 2.5 upgrade, it was here in that 2.5 upgrade.
I'm gonna up the speed on this print.
300, James, 300.
300 millimeters a second or 300%?
300 millimeters a second.
Ooh.
Make that delta smoke.
Okay, 300 millimeters a second.
Good Lord, look at it.
I've given her all she's got, Captain. If I give her any more, the whole thing's gonna blow.
He was just waiting for that.
That's the only reason he asked about upping the speed on it.
What did you say?
Star Wars. Or
Just
Star
want to make sure the nozzle staying up. Yeah, it's staying at 210.
Oh, I hate cable management.
Me too. And a lot of the parts that I just printed for the 2.5 upgrade seem to be the reason for them is for the new cable management.
I'm running at 320 millimeters a second right now, theoretically.
That's awesome.
The cat is awesome.
My
Hey,
cat looks like a fat version of Glenn's cat. You just wait till I turn the drone on, then she's gonna run for sure.
Oddly enough, when we fly Xander's, our cat runs into the room. She's not afraid. She won't attack it, but she's not afraid of it either. Ooh, it's getting ready to storm here. Same rule applies. You know, if we lose power, I'll still be on, but I won't be able to see what's going on.
Oh, I can't do it. I can't scare her that much. It would be animal cruelty.
you better not, because she's going to be with you while your wife's gone.
It's true. She's my only support structure now.
Don't crash. He crashed.
No, it was a safe landing. It actually sets off an alarm when there's a bad landing. It goes red alert.
Hey, Glenn, Print 3D Channel asked, what is Xander building?
I'm doing snap circuits.
Explain what that is for people who don't know.
It's like wiring, but it's like you snap. Ah!
You fall down, I'm laughing.
Okay. It's just like you snap together wires in it.
It literally uses metal snaps, so that instead of having to use jumper wires and such, one of these out of the box, they snap. They snap together, and so then the snaps are connected underneath. So it's safer for youngsters. And they actually sell an adapter for that set to hook into an Arduino. It's like Lego with electrical components, pretty much so. I mean, it's almost that premise. So it's simplified, and we ended up buying them a second kit, and it's got like speakers and transistors and stuff now.
I've already had a speaker.
Oh, sorry.
You fat shit.
How dare I?
Yeah, I had the one from Radio Shack with the little springs that you pulled back and slid the wire underneath.
Oh yeah, I had one.
Yeah, and I was pretty young until the one day where I created a dead short and melted the little section for the battery poles. So that was a good time.
Yeah, 3D Print Channel asked, did we all remember the ones with springs to connect the wires from Radio Shack?
Yeah, I had a crystal radio kit that was that way, and I listened to that radio for a long time.
You know, it's funny, Glenn. I had I had a crystal radio kit too, but it always said take your antenna wire up to the top of the tree. So my mom would come out and she's like, "What are you doing in the tree?" I'm like, "Electronics."
I ran my antenna wire out the window and to the hose bib because we had copper wiring in our house at that point. So it used all the copper wiring in the house for my antenna.
I had that kit too. It was like dark blue and light blue. I don't remember what I used for the antenna. I think I hooked it up to the cable TV wire. Seemed like a good idea at the time.
Did you get all the paint channels?
Got AM radio from all the way in Tallahassee.
No, you didn't.
No, I know. I don't even know where Tallahassee is.
Tallahassee doesn't even have AM radio.
Well, they might have 20 years ago.
No, they didn't have it. They don't have it yet. They're working on getting it though.
Doesn't work with that high magnetic
Hello, Ben.
Oh, and Matt from Inside the Mind of Matt's here. I did want to ask him a question. Are you going to do that new Piper, Matt? If you're still listening, if he's still here, he going to build that new Piper? Yeah, we all wait for Matt to answer, right? Is that what we're doing?
Oh, I was busy working on my stuff.
Red Light Mike is in the house. Hello,
That's
Mike.
right.
Hey, Mike, you don't have to put on the red light.
Bed leveling is the last thing on this printer that I hate. So hopefully this is going to alleviate all my hates.
I gotta tell you, Glenn, that printer would look absolutely perfect if only you'd gone with blue and orange instead of yellow and black.
Well, you know, anybody can build their own in any color they want.
You just can't troll Glenn.
The FK one, black and yellow as well. So has anybody out there in 3D printing land heard anything from Hatchbox as far as their inventory goes? I'm sorry, I just really think that they're failing. I really think they're closing up shop.
You think so, Glenn?
Well, it's been months and months and months and months, and they haven't had inventory. The only inventory that they have available right now is stuff that they've had laying around. They keep running these sales on different filaments, but it's always stuff that's been in stock forever. And the only reply that I ever get from them is that they're waiting for their manufacturer to replenish their stocks.
Mm.
If I suddenly go missing, it's because there's an unexpected thunderstorm brewing up here, which is gonna suck because I have long prints going on two of my printers right now.
Oh, we must be close to each other because there's a thunderstorm here too. Maybe it's the same storm.
What?
Look out the window. Tell me, you see a black cloud?
I need to ask. I don't know if Filament Frenzy's in here, but how cool is it to have Thomas Sandland later call you out on his stream, on his video?
Was that Tom or was that? I thought that was Joe, 3D Maker Noob.
Was it? No. Tom just did one the other day on velocity printing. And I believe that he called out Filament Frenzy because he saw his prints on Twitter and thought that he would do a video on it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that 3D Maker Noob just called him out too. Something in his Patreon about why it's important to have people like him in the community.
Yeah, I did see that on 3D Maker Noob's Patreon because it was public. It wasn't just to his Patreons. But Tom just did a video on showing you how to do velocity printing. And I believe it was in response to Tom's prints, which was awesome. I don't know. I just wish I could print like that.
It's storming here really, really bad. We haven't had any power dips, but again, this computer is on a battery backup, but I've never plugged the monitors in, so.
Well, we'll be able to see you. You just won't be able to see us. It'll be okay.
Right, and I'll just keep talking.
Right. I'll mute your mic, and you'll think you're talking and doing all this stuff, and you won't be.
So like your typical videos.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because I'm good at muting them, Mike. And when I mute you, I'm just going to go, hey, I'm Glenn, and this is my 3D channel.
So I might as well mention what we're doing at August 11th. I'm going to be doing a live stream that's so far is going to be hosted by Chris Riley if everything goes well, where I'm going to stream for 24 hours and I'm going to design, model, 3D print, and assemble, or at least attempt to do all this, a 3D printer completely from scratch. So
Sweet.
live stream the whole design process and everything. I can't guarantee it's going to be a good printer by the time I'm done, because there's going to be a lot of good enough probably. But that is the plan. And any donations to the stream during that live stream are going to the CHIO Children's Hospital here in Ottawa.
Sweet. With my James, also with my first paycheck, I'm going to do something similar. And I said this earlier, I'm going to do something similar to what Joe does on 3D Print Nerd. The Ronald McDonald House has been big in my family's life. So I'm going to get I'm going to print made by, what's his name? We call him Dude. I can't remember what his name is on YouTube, but anyway, he designed a Ronald McDonald House that I'm going to print and use that for donations for Ronald McDonald House as well.
Cool.
So,
yeah, I'm going to print myself a wallet, and and the donations are going to go into that wallet temporarily, and then it's going to buy a lot of materials for a big fat printer.
I'll link it this time.
yeah, Mapper06 said the storm just came through there. Glenn, he's just north of you.
Yes, north of me where? Is Mapper the one that's in Gainesville? I'm so bad with keeping track.
No, I think he's in Ocala. Wait, no, that's Josh. I don't know where Mapper's at.
Yeah, anybody that's Florida based, please send me an email, Glenn, 2 N's, GLENN at funking3d.com, because I do really want to put together some type of a get together a couple times a year.
Oh, he's in Claremont.
Oh, that's a little bit south.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I just realized I'm going to be releasing 4 3D printer designs over the next 2 months.
4?
Yeah, because apparently designing one wasn't good enough for me. Well, you know, I'm working on it's not a CR10 because it's completely designed from the ground up. It's something that prints the equivalent of a CR10, but it's completely printed. And I've got another one that it's going to be a surprise / secret until all the part shop. Then I've got my original 3D printed printer, which that design will be going up in the next couple of weeks. And this challenge one, I'll release the design in case anybody really wants to build it. I don't know how good it's going to be by the end. Walter's going to build one of my printers one day.
I am, as soon as I get some like STLs that you say are good to go.
You got to decide which one you want to print.
Well, I have a 300 by 300 bed. I got a 340 by 500 Delta. So, you know,
I mean, you got to decide which printer you want to build, because your 300 by 300 is big enough to print my current printed printer. But you have to decide if you want to go with the smaller one or the big one, basically.
Okay, but I definitely need to do that. No, Mapper
printed version of Glenn's printer when he's done.
Yeah.
A 3D version of my printer?
Yeah, printed version of your printer.
Yeah,
it's gonna be.
I don't know. I honestly don't think that would work because of the spans.
Glenn, why are you jamming that into your bed, or are you just vibrating it and it looks like it's jamming?
It's no, I just wanted to I wanted to show that's my probe mount that I designed, and I now have the probe installed, so now it's just a matter of packing up my Marlin to accept it and then making it work. So I just wanted to show you guys that I did make some progress today.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm going to do the FPFK1, the fully printed Fun King 1 printer.
Wow.
I would love to see it. We'd have to actually print the extrusions on my printer though.
There you go. Yeah, it's like printception, right?
Yeah.
I'm going with a cantilever design because I think I can implement the cantilever design with the least amount of print time. Print time by far is going to be the thing I have to manage the most during this challenge. So, yeah. Or I have to make a very small printer, but.
Chris, what did you print that on?
I printed half of it on an MK3 and half of it on the Mosquito.
So what are you doing now? Are you putting pins in there or something?
Yeah, there's like little pins that hold the whole thing together. I was pretty impressed with this design.
Is that the Vice? Oh yeah. I've been meaning to print one of those for like a year now.
Yeah, it's really inventive the way they designed this thing. It's pretty cool. I'm guessing though that I'm getting ready to snap most of these pins off. So.
That sure did fall.
Yeah, I thought those would be cool for doing printed circuit for soldering on printed circuit boards.
I need to come up with a better filament holding solution.
Heat the pins. I wouldn't get very far heating these pins, I don't think.
Yeah, no. Well, I did want to say, Glenn, you know, I'd said I probably couldn't make it to Maker Faire. And we lost Glenn.
There went two.
That's nice, Chris. Just break them off, man.
Hey, what else am I going to do?
Drill them out and put them in there like you're supposed to.
Drill them out.
Hey, Glenn.
What?
I know I'd said I probably couldn't make it to Orlando Maker Faire, and that may still be the case. I'm not sure. But I believe that we're actually going to take our trip to Phoenix at Thanksgiving instead.
Well, that'd be cool.
Because I'll be able to buy the tickets in advance. It's so sad. My daughter, we were looking up tickets to Ireland last night, and for a round trip ticket from here to Ireland and back is $631. For me to fly from here to Phoenix and back is $530. It's $100 more to go to Ireland than it is to go from here to Phoenix.
That's pretty crazy.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's an SNES clone Bluetooth controller. It's an 8-bit do, and Walter's got the superior versions. But my basement, you can't see it from the camera that's there now, but my basement is, this entire wall is old video game consoles. I've got like, I don't know, 28 of them, something like that. What I was passionate about before I got into 3D printing. It's what I spent all my money on. Now the damn things never get used. Except for when I decide to speedrun Mario 1 and Mario 3 and then Shalom stops watching my videos because he comes here for 3D printing and not video games. I can't turn the camera. The camera is mounted. If I had a mirror, I don't have a camera pointed that way anymore either. Maybe I can, hold on a sec. This is either going to work or it's going to disconnect me from the universe.
Yes, I've gotten rid of my father. I am now superior.
Oh no, Xander's alone.
Even when he's the only option, he still isn't the best option. Let's see.
I don't know if he's on this stream. Hopefully he's not watching this stream, but Dan from Slice Engineering, Walter, I sent him a whole bunch of information. Yeah. And I think I stumped him. I don't know, but I haven't heard anything back yet, but I'm sure he's still working on it.
Oh no, I'm sure he is.
Yeah.
I'm sure he actually is. So
There's more behind this curtain, but there's my mirror. My camera's mirrored, so there's all my stuff. Bunch of consoles down there. There's the print. I'm the best tripod there is. An extreme close up.
You got to do it like Wayne's World, though. You got to go like extreme close up. Whoa!
and I know y'all were really worried about it, but I found a lac table spool holder that has the clamp that slides over the side of the table, and then you can hang your spool off the side instead of having it go down through your table.
Excellent. Now
You're no longer lacking a spool holder.
Yeah.
Wah, wah.
We don't have Chris's little thing. He can't do that right now.
That was for you, Chris.
We just need to have James record a bunch of sound effects for us, and we can all use them on our stream decks.
There you go.
Yeah, not non-copyrighted ones. I do have a Vectrix.
That'd be fun.
And the last time I plugged it in, it still works. So, have you guys ever seen the Vectrix video game console?
No.
You pull that thing out. It's an oddity. It's it, as the name would indicate, it uses vector-based graphics. As far as I know, it's the only home console that ever used it because you can't do it on a regular screen. So the console itself has a built-in 9-inch monitor. Oh, that thing's stuck in there. There you go. So, a sec.
James' basement is a lot more wide than mine is. He does multiple contents on his channel. All mine's just right here. Unless you want me to run over and play a drum solo, I could do that.
Well, yeah. See, you need to have a mobile camera, Chris, so you can show us what the rest of your basement looks like.
I should. I need to do a complete tour video. It's not. There's not much more to it really, but there's a lot of stuff crammed over there.
Yeah, because you can like pretty much see my entire room in this one camera shot.
Yeah.
Because
Make sure this still turns on.
My screen is mounted to the wall behind my monitor, so there's nothing behind the camera.
Yeah, that's how mine is too. This is all the room that I got is what you can see right here.
Whatever. I've been in your house. I know what that room looks like.
Yeah, we're changing something up this week too. That's gonna be pretty cool if it works out. So,
dude, if I had a quarter of the room that you have up there, I would be golden.
Okay, I'm gonna switch cameras again. It still works, so that's good news. I gotta get pointed so that you guys can actually see something.
Cyber Dustin is here. Hello.
Okay, so this here is the Vectrix. It uses vector-based graphics, so rather than it being just pixels, it's actually lines drawn, which creates this like super bright and vibrant image, but it only does black and white. And I bought this off a guy off Kijiji. He found it in the trash, and it didn't work, and he fixed it. And it didn't come with the controller. This is the controller he built to go with it, which looks like something I would put together. It's an analog stick off of a nunchuck from a Nintendo Wii. And this actually uses analog, so that works out fine. And then these are from the bottom of an LCD, like a monitor. So you just rip them out and then wire them up so each button does something separate.
that is truly hacked together and awesome.
That is pure awesomeness. That's all that is.
Don't ever get rid of that. That is so amazing.
I mean, I am working on a 3D printed one for the one player, but this will always be the second player controller. And it's the best part is it's still better than Mad Catz.
I want to say hey to Robbie Mack. He came in here, and I want to thank him right here in front of God and everybody for the graphic that he made for Fun in the Country Basement. Robbie Mack is awesome. That's all.
Robbie Mack is the person I wish to be when I grow up.
Yeah, I second that. Robbie Mack does some fine work.
Well, at least you didn't say that you want to be him when you get older.
I'm just gonna sit here and play this game now. This is basically just a rip off of Asteroids. It's built into the console. I don't have any actual cartridges for it. Ah, I died. Glenn's fault. Frickin' Glenn.
Then he calls us dorks, and all the love is gone.
You died. Every time Xander's playing Fortnite and he dies, he's always like, "Oh, what the crap?" And you know, like, and I go, "You died."
When he plays it, it's more like Fart Night.
Fart night.
Hey there, Tony Ryan. How are you?
Take it back. Do 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 do.
No Rocky references in here. No Rocky references.
Ew, maybe I'll fight a bow and maybe I won't.
Scalda, you have a good night, sir.
What's wrong with Rocky?
What?
What's wrong with Rocky?
Chris isn't in it. Wait, Chris wasn't even born yet.
When?
Rocky?
Oh, Rocky.
The original Rocky?
Yeah.
What was that, 78?
It's older than I am.
I think it was 78. Somebody will tell us.
So Robbie Mac just said, "Is every Sunday pizza day in Fun King House?" And it's so funny because when I carried this pizza up and I handed it to Xander, I said, "These people are going to think that that's all we eat around here is pizza." But Sunday is technically always pizza because there's a little Caesars on the way home from church. So we stop and we get two $5 hot and readies, and we can get 2 meals out of it. So it's good and cheap.
You can get 2 meals out of two $5 hot and readies?
Yep.
That's just like 1 meal for me. Who else is going to eat?
Yeah, well, I eat well, Priscilla doesn't eat pizza. She doesn't eat carbs. So, but like the kids will eat, you know, a couple of slices of the cheese.
I eat a couple so that I have more for later. So I'm.
And then I get the most bestest or whatever they call that one with the more pepperoni on it.
Oh, and Chris and James, Rocky was 1976.
Adrian.
That's a little before my time. And good night, Vaughn, if you're still here. Thanks for joining the stream.
Yeah, later, Vaughn. Yeah, Rocky 2 was 1979. When was Rocky 3? Rocky 3 might have been before they were born.
I pity fool. Don't know when that was released.
It was before Chris, I believe. I don't know about James. I don't know how old James is.
I was born in '84.
Yeah, and Chris, you're what, 83?
81.
81. So nope, Chris was a year old and James was yet to be created.
Just made it.
God, that makes me feel old, Glenn. I don't know about you, buddy.
That's what I was laughing about when he said he was born in '84. I was trying to think about where I was in '84.
The mother of my youngest sister was born in '83.
I love the '80s.
I love the nightlife. I love the boogie.
I can't believe I'm taking this stupid thing apart again.
I love that the camera panned across to Chris, who wasn't saying or doing anything, just long enough for us to see him shaking his head at me, and then cut back
And
to
laughing.
Glenn.
And laughing,
Yeah.
I know.
The whole time I
Making
watched
it sound,
James
no reason.
Yeah, the whole time I watch James on stream when he does the whole night long stuff like last night, it's just one after another. But he comes up with so many, like people will put, if you've never watched a Print and Pray stream, okay, people will put really random stuff that you would never get. And then James will finish the whole song, you know, or the complete movie reference or whatever. It's amazing. Mad Mike was on there last night, just throwing random stuff in the chat. James was on it like that. It was really impressive. But it makes me laugh. I was like, I can't believe he knows this.
The first hour to 2 hours of my streams are usually good, and then I forget to pay attention to chat and stuff. So
I'll tell you
I
another one who's
have
really quick.
my listening to get.
Sorry, another one who's really quick is Brian Vines. He's really quick on stuff in the chat.
My problem in life is that everything, like the most random stuff, reminds me of a song. Even if you're not trying to make a song reference, it's like sometimes it's just one word, and I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna go off and sing this song that has that one word in it.
I'm the same way, James. I understand.
We were singing some Weird Al last night. It was a party in the CIA.
This Benchy is looking amazing.
Oh my God, Chris is printing a Benchy. Somebody call the truck.
Hey, this is like the 6th Benchy I've printed today.
John Mack said he's 81.
Bass drums.
John Mack doesn't look nearly 81. He looks great for his age, then.
I know he does. Put me to shame.
Thanks, Mika. You're being super helpful. John Mack only comes into my live streams to hear me play my face. It's my other hidden talent.
Well, it is kind of a highlight.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's pretty impressive.
Any song, anytime. Getting cheeky with it. Na, 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 na.
Mike, I have quite a bit of Capricorn of all types. I'm guessing you want to know if it's worth the money? Not really. It depends what you're using it for, I guess. If you want ultimate precision on a Bowden tube, and maybe not some of the best filament would work with it, sure, $11 a meter is all right, but I'd just stick with the cheap stuff if I were you.
I have rolls and rolls of the cheap stuff.
I have to agree with Chris. Exactly. Hey, the Lightspeed wants to ask you a question, but yeah, just tag Chris in the question and ask it.
Anybody, fire away, whatever you got.
Fire away.
Fire away, fire away. Ricochet.
Go ahead, Brian Vines.
BV.
Yeah, Mike, for the CR10, I would just go with the yeah, so XS is like 0.02 or something like that tolerance. So it's as close to 175 as you can get and still fit filament through it. But you could probably just go with some regular Bowden tube from and maybe an Amazon vendor. They would have good enough Bowden tube for a CR10, but I would replace those couplers before I did anything else, because more than likely you're getting just enough slop in the stock couplers where your traction is going to be a little higher. So that's what I would do. I'd grab 2 more couplers for a couple bucks and use some regular tube, and you should be all set. Just my opinion.
Just reading through, see what's changed in this flash cartridge.
The Lightspeed. You are going to have a heck of a time with MMU2 inside a LAC enclosure, even if you use the Prusa enclosure that's a little bit taller, because I'm going to guess that MMU2 is going to be at least 8 inches taller than the printer. I mean, it's going to be almost as tall as a roll of filament because it kind of leans back a little bit, but then you're also going to have 5 different filaments trying to come out of it at one time. So you're going to be hard pressed to get a LAC enclosure set up that's going to work really well with something like that. I mean, we're going to get MMUs, and you'll see how this all rolls out. But I'm guessing it's going to be like chaos, trying to keep all the spools and everything lined up correctly. So yeah, you're probably out of luck on the LAC enclosure.
Yeah, that's why I did that. I'm not doing an enclosure, but that's the reason that I put the 100 millimeter extensions on the LAC legs, so that I would have room for my MMU2 whenever we go to put them on. So I have an extra 100 millimeters above my Mark III.
Yeah, and Scott's saying that the most recent pictures looks like it's going back, and it might. I mean, I think it sets on there. I'm not exactly sure on the design or what they went with. At Murph, it was a little different than the last ones I saw, but no matter what, even if it dips down some, it's going to be a nightmare to set up all those spools.
Well, Lightspeed, the problem is I'm not doing an enclosure. So, yeah, if you cut your acrylic for the one that Chris made and showed already and the one that Prusa put out, then yes. So it may be where you have to take your printer out of the enclosure. I don't know, because Chris, you moved your power supply and all underneath, correct?
Right.
So what are you going to do with your MMU2? I mean, how are you going to handle that, you think?
Well, my MMU2 will go on MK3, so I don't have to deal with the enclosure.
Oh, that's right. You put the enclosure on the MK2.
Yeah, and I mean that's another question, Mike. This is the Dolly clone, the wooden Prusa clone. Yeah, well, see, they're gonna have to kind of feed over the printer. It's gonna get tricky, but the lack enclosure. I don't know how many printers you have or whatever printers you do have, but if you're going to use MMU multicolored prints, you're more than likely not going to print with anything that needs an enclosure. I mean, I know that it makes the printer look better and it makes things all tidy and nice, but I use the enclosure for ABS. So that printer just does high temp plastic. But you're probably never going to do high temp in that MMU scenario. So removing the acrylic would probably buy you enough space, like where you could put the spools down underneath or something like that. But really, you kind of lose functionality of the enclosure with the MMU, in my opinion. I don't think you're ever going to be able to swap from ABS to PLA to flexible in that MMU style.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And you were talking about changing the design from Earth until the last one they showed. I think that the mounting and the way that it kicks back at 45 degrees stayed the same. They added some things to it for the new filament sensor, which I actually think is a really cool design and would love to do one myself. But it's just a filament out sensor. It's not a filament speed sensor to test for jam. So,
gotcha.
That's with the ball bearing and the inductive sensor, right?
Yeah, which is an ingenious design. I love the way they did that. It's so simple, but yet so effective. That's awesome.
Right. That's exactly right.
Well, I don't know. You see, the Lightspeed, you just need another printer now. So you set your MK3 up for MMU, and then you throw another one in that lac enclosure, and you win. I can fix anything with another printer.
Hey there, One Raz and Derek Matthews. I believe One Raz is in Australia. Is it that time of day already in Australia? It's early morning, getting ready for work.
My wife's in Australia right now. For the next 2 hours.
James also did the Arduino print monitor. Did you not, James?
It's right here. I was just plugging it back in. I don't have the case right because I used a different Arduino now. There it is in all of its monitoring glory.
Oh, One Raz is in California.
I'm doing something special with it. Chris Riley's the only person I've told so far, I think. And he thinks it's an awesome idea. So it must be. Right, Chris Riley?
That's right. I saw somebody put one of those in something really interesting the other day, and now I can't remember what 3D print it was, but it kind of lit up the whole stomach or something. It was kind of neat. So
this print I'm running right now is supposed to take like 10 or 14 hours, and this is saying it's got 20 hours remaining, and it's been printing for like 6 hours already, so I think the estimate was off.
Probably.
I saw it, Flash 4 Finder. I saw one of those just the other day. I hadn't seen one. It's still a Flash Forge. A drummer, yes. I am a drummer for a long, long time. But yep, those are my broken cymbals.
Now, Chris, the videos that I saw on YouTube of somebody singing and stuff, you weren't really playing drums in those videos, right?
No, I didn't play the drums in that band. That's a really long-winded career there. I started playing the guitar when I was really small, 3 years old, and I played it up until, well, I've always played the guitar. I still play it occasionally, but I played it until I was about 14 or so, and then every band that I was in, everybody always needed a drummer. So I just sat down and said, okay, I'm going to start playing the drums. So I just started, I got like a pawn shop drum set, the worst one you've ever seen. And I just kept, tearing the hell out of it until I was pretty decent at it. So then I could join anyone's band.
Right.
I could just be in whatever band I wanted. But then later, the videos that are on YouTube, that was much later. I was in my late 20s at that time. And yeah, I had that band that I actually played the guitar.
The Lightspeed, there's 3 people on this channel right now with a beard. And Lightspeed asked, who's the guy with the beard? I'm assuming that he was talking about James.
Could be. I'm
say who's the guy without the beard?
Right. Who's the guy without the beard besides Xander? Right.
Somebody asked what this monitors. So this will connect to any local instances of Octoprint that you have running through the API key, and it just pulls information. So it gives you remaining time on your print, the temperature of the bed, the temperature of the tool or the hot end, also current time, and it will connect and give you weather information as well if you want.
Chris, do you still have James's link to his channel in your clipboard that you can paste?
Yeah, probably do.
I got it. Damn.
That's faster. Does that actually work?
Should.
Well, because when I do that to mine, it doesn't work. I have to put the C in front, the /C, and then slash the name.
If you've registered your channel name, it should work just like that.
Oh yeah, I registered it. Let me try it.
See if
Yeah,
I can
it worked for mine too. How about that?
There you go. You can drop the C.
People finally made it, and
Yeah,
we've got 8 minutes, guys.
Yep. Lightspeed said Flashboard Finder is awesome. Yeah, I get really mixed thoughts about flashboards. Some people have creators and dreamers and finders, and they just love them, and other people they print on them once and they walk away. So I'm guessing it's just like any other printer company, good ones and bad ones. And they're not cheap. That's the problem with Flashforge. You got to spend some money to get into it.
I can tell you from experience that both Chris Riley and I believe that the Tronxy X5S is the best printer ever made.
Yeah.
I was thinking about buying one based on your guys' recommendation.
Yeah. I won't even kid about that. I feel so
somebody accidentally hears that and they're like, oh, I'm going to go buy that immediately.
Yeah. You have a better sense of humor about the whole thing than I do, James, because I'm not.
Well, I gave up on mine earlier. You kept going, and like I will revisit it. I will get it working. It may not be in an X5S configuration by the time I'm done, but it will eventually be a working printer.
So let's in the next few minutes let's have this conversation, because I know Chris's feelings on the Tronxy X1, and I know my feelings on the X1. So does Tronxy make a printer that's acceptable?
Well, here's the weird thing is that the X5S has been almost universally approved by people. Like they're saying, oh, it's the CR10 killer because it has all the features of the CR10, but it's faster because of the Core XY design, and the bed drops away, so your prints turn out better because the print isn't constantly in motion. But Chris and I had like very little luck. Mine, the actual hot end carriage, it's technically the X, but it's connected to the X and the Y because it's Core XY. But the X carriage doesn't sit on it properly, so it rocks back and forth, and there's no eccentric nuts to lock it down. So I was getting terrible print quality, and finally one day I just sat there and I watched it, and whenever it would change direction, it would tilt by like 10 degrees in either direction because it just didn't ride the rails properly. So I designed a replacement piece to get it mounted properly, but I haven't been able to. I have to replace one of the bottom bolts and create basically a sandwich so it's locked in from both sides. And I ordered eccentric nuts from China, so they'll be here sometime next year, probably.
Yeah. So, Glenn, I don't know if they make a good printer or not. I would give their Prusa clone a try if I had one, but I don't know. I honestly don't know what they're doing. Based on all of the findings that I have, I have no idea.
It seems like the biggest issue is quality control. You know, stuff like I was just showing Xander. I mean, I took that X1 apart so that I can print replacement parts, and I know I said I wasn't going to do it, but after that print, I mean, that print turned out pretty fantastic for that thing having a wobbly X-axis. But I mean, when I line these holes up, and I know you guys can't see this really, but when I line these holes up, you can plainly see that these holes aren't there. You know, like they missed. And I don't know if that's necessarily the issue because that thing had a lot of play in it. But it just seems like stupid quality control.
Yeah, I wouldn't say the problem is quality control, because that's like saying that right now the world has a problem with dinosaur control. Dinosaurs don't exist, and neither does quality for them. So you have to have it before you can control it.
Well, and the iterations that they make to all their kits. James probably had a kit that was, I don't know, 6 weeks newer than mine, and they were completely designed. A lot of pieces were completely designed differently, and we had a different set of issues.
Yep.
But
Like Chris and I are talking. Chris is like, try this, and I'm like, can I see a picture of yours first? And you're like, sure. And he snaps a picture, and I'm like, yeah, here's a picture of mine. And like on mine, the pulleys are like here and here. On his, they're like here. And I'm like, it looks like they took half of the suggestions from the members and they just implemented. And like this kind of boils back down to like what Angus was touching on, where it's like they change things. You never know which one you're gonna get. It's just, oh, we need to correct this. We won't issue an addendum or whatever. It's just everybody from this point forward is gonna get this, and we'll hope for the best.
But is that the way it works, or is it just like they have two different companies that are manufacturing their parts and they just happen to be two? So you may get kit A or kit B and never even know it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Tony,
I don't know.
The Lightspeed, you need to look at your source for that.
What's that, Walter?
He said design prototype test says X5S is the bee's knees.
But he also invented it, so.
Oh yeah. That's right. Him and Al Gore sat down at a table and invented that too, didn't they?
I try not to throw too much shade. I just, that video, I don't think I finished watching it. I think I watched the first 8 or 9 minutes, and I was like, this is just.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you this. I am completely done with the X5S. I am not going to touch it again, except to take the duet board off of it. And
so what are you going to do with it now then? Are you going to use it for parts or something?
I'm going to round the corner right here and scowl at it for months at a time, and that's the only thing I'm going to do with it. But the video review is done. I mean, I am done. All the video and everything for that printer is done, and it will be out in a couple of weeks. And people are probably going to hate me for it.
I've already seen it. I'm going to give you guys a sneak preview. So it involves Chris, and he's got the X5S, and it's sitting on the floor. And he puts this wooden box that he's built around it, and it's huge. It's like 7-8 feet tall. And so he builds this box around it. And then at the end, the camera pans around, and there's a door in front. And he opens it up, and it turns out the entire thing's an outhouse built so that anything that goes in through the toilet hole ends up inside the X5S. And the next 5 minutes is him just, taking care of the printer.
Well, guess what? That's a great ending note right there.
There you go.
Chris taking a dump on an X5S.
Yeah. Thank you, James, for joining our hangout for Sunday.
Glad to be here.
All right, guys, we're going to start with Chris and then Glenn and then James on the outros. So take it away, Chris.
Yep. Thanks for everybody for joining today. These Sunday hangouts are always fun. This was our first one with a guest, and that really brought up some different creative subjects, and I enjoy that. But again, I always appreciate everybody hanging out, and you'll see videos from me pretty soon. I promise.
Glenn?
Oh, I wasn't paying attention on to who is next.
Tune in next week to find out what happens to the X5S.
I don't know if you'll know that by next week. He's just going to spend a week scowling at it at least. So. All right, everybody, I'm Glenn.
I'm Xander.
And together we are Fun King 3D, and we are a father and son team who does 3D printing and electronic projects. Our big one right now is none other than the FK1. And if you don't know what the FK1 is by this point, then I haven't been doing my job because it's all I talk about. What was that? Xander does Xander Sync Thursday every Thursday at 12 noon. We are coming up on the 1 year mark for that, so something special. Don't know what yet, but something special. If you didn't see our most recent unboxing of MakerBox, you got to go check that out because Zach does an awesome magic trick, and somewhere in the video he plays a little duck hunt, so you got to check that out. And we're found everywhere Fun King 3D. I guess that's it.
James.
Hey, I'm James. My channel is Print and Play. I do mostly 3D design tutorials. So far, I've been doing arcade designs as well as 3D printer designs. So I'm youtube.com/print and play. I'm on Twitter at twitter.com/JC Print and Play. And yeah, feel free to check me out and let me know if you have any suggestions for future tutorials.
Okay. And I'm Walter. This is Kuntry 3D. This has been fun in the Kuntry Basement from Kuntry 3D's channel. I believe that Chris is next in rotation again next Sunday. So we will see you there. And I believe that the Geek Tech Delta still rivals for that X5S outhouse printer, I believe, Chris Riley. But like Glenn, you can find me everywhere on Twitter and everywhere else at Kuntry 3D. So this has been great. Thank everybody for being here, and we will see you next Sunday for more fun in the Kuntry Basement.
Thanks, everybody.